what up? I'm coming to you live from my apartment in Austin. Talking to Katie Olivia. Alright, so I want to have a little discussion. Let's see how good reception is here. Okay. I was passing out that survey. I don't know if any of you guys took it, but if you haven't, let me know and I'll put the link in here. I'm surveying you guys, and I'm getting I want to find out more about where you are and ways that I can help you. And one of the things that was very, very interesting was there was a repetitive pattern of I'm grateful but frustrated. And it reminded me of, hi, whoever you are who just hopped on, talking about being grateful but frustrated. I did a survey and I found out you guys are grateful but frustrated. And it's interesting because that was the way that it was for me for about 10 years, honestly. Hi, whoever you are who just hopped on. I'm talking about being grateful but frustrated with your life. And I did this survey, and if you haven't taken the survey but you're interested in the survey, let me know and I'll put the link in. I already said that, but anyways. So one of the responses that was frequented was I'm grateful but frustrated. And Rich and I were sitting there at, talking. Hey, Heidi. Hey, Heidi, I can't fucking talk. I was sitting there talking to Rich because I was looking at the survey results, and I was like, that sucks that people are grateful but frustrated. And he was like, well, what's wrong with that? And I was like, because you can't fucking manifest from that place. And it's keeping them stuck. And I was kind of like, when I look back on all the calls that I've done with people and all the clients that I've had, and the majority of what has to happen, and probably one of the biggest reasons why people might be scared of me or whatever it might be, is because I have a tendency to kind of dig into your pain quite a bit and try to get you to be really fucking honest about shit. And the reason why I do that is not because I like to see you in pain or because I want you to, hey Danielle, hi Callie, Sally. I fucking love the name Sally. I wanted to watch When Harry Met Sally last night, but I didn't have time. The reason why I dig into your pain, and the reason why I want you to, hey Danielle, the reason why I want you to admit what's really going on is because when you're grateful but frustrated, you're hey girl, when you're, and I don't want to keep saying hi because this is really important, so if people hop on and I don't say hi to you, don't take it personally. If you're grateful but frustrated, there's so many reasons why you're blocking yourself from manifesting external results that are what you really want. And I'll tell you why. It's I can't begin to express the magnitude of how heartbreaking it was to hear this from you guys, because I was just like, fuck, this sucks, because I know what that feels like on so many different deep levels. It's ridiculous. When you're grateful but frustrated, number one, I should title this 6 reasons or 10 reasons why it's so fucked up to be grateful but frustrated. Number one, when I was explaining it to Rich turned around and he was kind of laughing at all the reasons why I was saying it was so fucked up. He was like, so they're gratefully frustrated. And I was like, exactly. So it's number one, you're grateful to be frustrated. Basically is what you're saying to the universe and to yourself. So you're grateful for being frustrated. So it's yeah, you want to be grateful for everything. And that's one of the, I might get the rap of, even the bully at times, because I'm kind of appreciation can only go so far when you're basically pardon my French, but you're fucking yourself up the ass by keeping yourself stuck in the whole grateful but frustrated. And so I'm going to go into a whole long list of reasons why. Okay, number one, when you're grateful but frustrated about your life, you're stuck, because in order to get the kind of shifts, this was another thing that came in on the survey, is if you aren't seeing the kind of results that you want, like you had some shifts, you had some breakthroughs, you worked with a coach, you did a course, you did whatever, and you saw some things shift, but it wasn't enough for you, or it wasn't the kind of shift that you really wanted, the reason why is because you weren't fully emotionally invested, like emotionally, mentally invested to really fully committing to fully changing that area of your life. Like there was a part of you that wasn't fully committed to changing your life. And that full commitment can be like, you have to really like, it's got to feel like it's absolutely no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to fucking change whatever it is that you're doing. And I mean that with love, like an insane amount of love. I don't mean to be, rough here, but it's like, it was one of those things where I learned, like, I would walk around being grateful but frustrated about my reality. And I would have, like, I looked like a fucking mad scientist with affirmations and all sorts of mantras and shit all over my house, doing all the correct mindset work, but I was getting shifts, but not real actual external results that were enough. And it was like, when I finally recognized, like, I'm grateful but frustrated, the other thing that came up was, if I stop being grateful, and if I start admitting that I really, really want to make $200,000 a month or $5 million a month or whatever, then it's hard for me to be grateful for the reality that I'm in. So it makes me feel like I'm bad and I'm, not putting out the right vibes in the universe. So you're in this limbo mode of like, I'm grateful, but I'm frustrated, but I want this, but I can't seem to get it. So you're in this like limbo mode of not really connecting to what you really want. And it's like, and then at the same time, if you're grateful but frustrated, the truth is that you're frustrated, but you think that you need to be grateful for the frustration that you're in. So it's like, how the fuck do you think your reality is creating for you if you think that you need to be grateful for something that really frustrates the fuck out of you? It sends this vibe out to the universe that you need to be like, you're feeling like you're being gypped. You feel like you're the victim. You feel like nothing's working out for you. You feel like, but it's not, you won't allow yourself to go to the place of it doesn't feel like anything's working out for you because you stay in gratitude, which is good, but it's like, how can you really be grateful if you're frustrated? And so what happens is, and you won't ever allow yourself to go into like, this must change now. And until you get to this must change now, you're going to stay in, I'm grateful, but I'm frustrated that things aren't changing the way that I want them to. And you can even kind of like another huge part of manifestation that people don't really talk about, that kind of like stays, it's the kind of thing that you don't hear about unless you're in like having a one-on-one mindset coach who's been through like quite a bit of work on and stuff. And I'm saying they're out there, but like, unless you address the fact that you have like, our emotions create our external reality. So if we feel something, if it's negative or positive, we're putting out that vibe into the world, and that's what we're attracting. So if we are grateful but frustrated, one, we're putting out two different energies, two very opposite energies. So when you put out two different, very opposite energies, it's split, so you can't manifest anything. When you want to manifest and bring something into external reality, especially if you've never manifested it before and it's a new thing for you, it's like a rocket ship. You have to put a lot of force and a lot of effort at the beginning so that you can really drive that manifestation into reality. Because what happens is that you can be grateful but frustrated because you're getting results, but you're not getting the kind of results that you really, really want. So you're only kind of creating like the goosebump feelings, the ahas, the shifts, the like, I feel like things are coming. I'm excited because big things are coming or whatever it might be, but it's not showing up externally in your reality. The reason why is because your energy is split. Okay? So if you want to fully commit to everything like manifesting physically, you have to get really fucking honest about how you feel. So this, backtracking to what I was saying, if you're grateful but frustrated, then you're like, I'm grateful, and you're a little bit frustrated. But the reality is, if somebody's grateful but frustrated, when you like, if you were going to sit down with me and I was going to be like, all right, what do you want? Like, let's talk about this. Let's get real here. If you want, I want, what's something you want? I want hotter sex in, I want more orgasms. Or I want my boyfriend to last longer in bed. Or my girlfriend to last longer in bed. And you're like, I'm grateful, but I'm frustrated. How in the hell can we get you to multiple consistent orgasms if you're grateful but frustrated? Like, honestly. And so what I would do immediately would be like, okay, let's get honest here, because you cannot manifest from a place of like pushing down emotions. Because when you push down emotions, not only do you push down the bad, you push down the good. So your ability to use those emotions to drive yourself to the desired manifestation are fucked. So, and remember, your emotions drive your reality. So if you're wanting to manifest $50,000 months, and you're grateful that you've manifested $15,000 months or $20,000 months, but you're frustrated that you can't seem to make that shift because you've worked with this coach, this coach, this coach, this coach, this coach, and you're happy and you're doing your thing, but when you sit down and talk to someone like me, or you get really fucking honest with yourself, it's like, I fucking want this really bad, but I can't seem to manifest it. That's the reality. And when you're real about those things, that's when the universe will say, okay, what do we need to help you get to? Like, okay, if it's really not working out for you the way that you want, what do you want to do about it? Do you want to stay in grateful but frustrated? Because if you're spinning in that reality, you're going to keep spinning in that reality. If you want to change it, you're going to attract a mindset coach, or you're going to be listening to something like this, where you're like, okay, let's get real about how you really feel, and let's look for ways to which you can change this reality. Because, and that's another thing, like, and the main reason why I'm so passionate about this is because I can't tell you how many fucking days, day in, day out, I would sit there working in a movie theater with beer poured all over me, going home, waking up, doing my affirmations, everything revolving around how to do mindset work, the journaling, the EFT. I spent 6 months doing 10 hours of EFT 3 to 4 days a week, and going on Friday and Saturday to pull in $200 to pay for groceries to get by, so that I can have these like breakthroughs. And nothing was shifting because I was grateful but frustrated. It wasn't until I got really fucking clear with God, like I got angry, I got honest, I got like, this shit has got to change. It must change. Because when you get into that mindset, all of your frustration that you've been pushing down, all of your gratitude that you've been like, not really, is like, I'm grateful that I'm in a place that I am determined that my fucking reality is going to change. And guess what? It changes. It changes. And it doesn't just change because you get some goosebumpy feeling, or you make $5,000, or you make $10,000, or you get to where you think you want to be. You get to where you really want to be, and you like let go of the whole like, I'm grateful but frustrated, and you move into like tears streaming down your face because you're so freaking grateful on a day-to-day basis. That's the kind of gratitude that you're looking for. So I really want to empower you right now. If you're grateful but frustrated, because this is where I'm at, I'm so fucking done. Good for you. Thank you. I'm happy that you're, this means the world to me, because I was like, Rich and I were having dinner last night up on the deck at his hotel, and he was like, why are you so like worked up about this? And I was just like, I can't tell you, like, I'm going to say it again. I was in such deep hell for fucking 5 years, and I was thinking, because, and this is another thing that I want you guys to know, regardless of whoever the fuck you work with or whatever mindset work that you do, the shit that people will tell you to do, like in The Secret or in books or in things that give you a really broad way of looking at it. And everything is, Katie Olivia does really good at explaining this stuff. Like, everybody is specific and different, and the details in what's going to help you shift is different from what's going to make me shift. But the reality is that you cannot get to, I am, you're manifesting the reality that you really truly are dreaming of until you get out of the headspace of, I'm grateful but frustrated. Because, like, and I can see how it's like a catch-22, because you think you need to be grateful in order to manifest more shit. But the reality is, if you're two different opposite emotions, you cannot manifest it. It's kind of like if you're in indecision, you know how they say in the sales process, if somebody's in indecision, that's the worst place for you to be, because you're like, yeah, I want to buy this, but no, I don't think I can afford it. But what if I don't buy it and I don't get that shift? Or what if, et cetera, back and forth. And so the universe, and this is true, like, the universe is like a GPS. If you tell it where to like, I'm glad this is resonating. If you tell the GPS, like, hey, I want to go to the grocery store, and then you really want to go to a 5-star restaurant, and you're dressed to go to a 5-star restaurant, why are you telling it to go to the grocery store? And so it's kind of like, you can't say, and then if you change your mind to go to the 5-star restaurant, but you go back to saying you want to go to HEB, it can't literally, like, it can't, try it on your GPS. Try it on Google Maps today. Like, tell it to do one thing and then tell it to do the opposite thing and see how far you get. So it's kind of like, you can't really move. And it's kind of like, and also you want to remember, like, for example, here's another example. This is huge. If I'm in a relationship with you and I'm grateful for our relationship, but I'm frustrated with you, how fun is it going to be hanging out with me? Not very fun. How easy is it going for you to feel like you can relate to me? How much are you probably going to pick up on my frustration more than you are my gratitude? Let's get real here. Let's be honest. So, and so I want you to really think about, and that's how the universe picks up your energy. So if you're grateful but frustrated, what is the universe picking up on? And you can, if you're wondering, look at your reality. Like, if you're manifesting money in the bank, you're not manifesting what you really want. So that's the answer to the question. I just kind of lost my train of thought there. So what do you want to do instead? Number one, you want to get absolutely honest with yourself about this whole situation. And you want to get to a point where, like, you want to become courageously open to looking at the dark side and the reality of how you really truly feel. This is another thing. Somebody who's grateful but frustrated, I'm not putting words in anybody's mouth here, but if I was on the phone with somebody who was grateful but frustrated, I would say, how often have you really had the ability to truly get real and honest about how you really feel about something? Have you had situations where you've had to push down your real feelings about something and had to do what everybody else wanted you to do, or had to do what somebody else told you to do, or had to suck it up and just, like, deal with shit? This is not that time in your life anymore. This is where you're overcoming those things. So don't let that be your reality too. Okay? You want to think about that. You want to think about that kind of vibration that you're putting out there into the universe. What else? And then what you want to do is you want to get, like, really clear. And this is going to be a hard work, but this is where you're going to get out of stuck mode and into actually, like, moving. This is when, like, the breakthroughs will happen, when you step out of that place and you demand that things shift, because the reality is that we create our own reality. So if we're grateful but frustrated, we're creating a reality that we're grateful for. Why are you grateful? That would be something that I would tell you to do. Get really honest and specific on why you're grateful. And if, like, write all those reasons down, write them all down. And I would even encourage everybody, if you want to to post them in the group and tag me in them, because what you'll find is that you're probably not even grateful for things that you're really actually grateful for. You might, I mean, you probably are grateful for things that you need to be grateful for, but you're going to find that you're in like, I'm grateful because I think this is what I'm supposed to do. So you might even be putting out negative energy upon negative energy and driving you in the opposite direction. So you want to get clear on why you're grateful. The other thing you want to do, what else do you want to do? You want to get, grateful and frustrated. You want to get clear on why you're frustrated. Like, why are you really frustrated? Are you frustrated because you've been trying for so long, because you've spent thousands of dollars on coaching, because you've spent thousands of hours doing this stuff, because you don't think that things work for you, because you're at your wit's end, because you're I'm completely not grateful right now. I understand. Now, and remember, guys, I'm not saying don't be grateful. I'm not saying that at all. It's I'm not saying, like, but I can guarantee you, like, think about it like this. Would you want your partner in life, who you love, like, even if you don't have your partner, would you want somebody that you care about the most in the world, if they were truly not happy, would you want them to be like, I'm grateful, and not really voice what's not right, especially if you don't know, you can't change it. Like, there's times when Rich and I'll be, I'll know that something's off, but I can't, like, he won't tell me, so I'll literally, like, just, make him tell me. And so think of the universe as somebody that loves you dearly, but unless you're, like, voicing what you need and what's going on, it can't change it. Like, no matter how deeply I want, Rich to, tell me what's going on so I can change it, or to, explain why I didn't sit in the same booth as he did at dinner, or, it could be as simple as I didn't see that he wanted me to sit right next to him at dinner, that type of thing. So you really got to think about it from that perspective. So, and the universe can't cater to you in that way. It's wired in this like law of attraction type of way. Yeah, and so, so you want to get clear on why you're frustrated. So, like, if, you want to voice that, and you want to, like, and the more that you voice it, the more that you, like, and people will also argue and say, you shouldn't voice your negative blocks. You shouldn't voice your negative blocks. I would tend to disagree if you're in a place of grateful but frustrated. Because what you're doing is you're basically, like, when you voice, like, I feel like you abandoned me, or I feel like you're not hearing me, or I feel like you rejected me, or I feel like you're not fulfilling my needs, or whatever it might be. When you voice it, it feels like you are being allowed to be heard, and that can take you from a place of great frustration and distress and feeling like a victim to feeling empowered, loved. Like, how people who, like, have been shoving shit down, and you'll, like, your partner or your mother or whoever will be like, what's wrong? And you'll finally voice it, and you, like, almost get choked up and you start to cry. That's because you're releasing some, like, held in shit that you need to release. So in that regard, I would highly recommend you get really honest about why you're frustrated. If you're frustrated, like, let it out. And it's deeply important to voice that shit, to let it out. And I'm not saying dwell on it, don't dwell on it, but, like, you need to get that shit out. Get it out and get honest, because you can move from a place of honesty. You can't move from a place of, like, suppressing your emotions, especially if your emotions drive your manifestation, okay? Emphasizing that again. Your emotions drive your manifestation. So if you're pressing your emotions down, even no matter what the hell they are, you're going to suppress your ability to manifest. I'm going to say that again, because this is this is huge. If you're grateful but frustrated, you're in two split energies. So you're not only cutting down your ability to manifest because it's split. You can't manifest, like, it's not, like, what does this lead to? Nothing. Like, it's really hard. And then if you're pushing down emotion by saying I'm grateful but I'm frustrated, you're pushing down the frustration, and the gratitude's kind of fucked up because it's like, how can you really be grateful when you're frustrated? Then you're not only pushing down because your energy is split, you're pushing down your emotion to manifest, and your emotions drive your manifestation. So you're like in stuck mode. So you're like, and then you go to buy coaching, you go to buy whatever the hell it is that you buy, and you get some results, you get some like, yep, this is the, yep, Julie, yep. You get some results, but you don't fully like manifest the shit out of things that like change your life that are miraculous. So, I really want to emphasize, like, really think about that. And like, it just like breaks my heart to think about like that you guys be dealing with that. Like, truly, it really and truly, because you can't manifest from that place. And I can't tell you how many damn times I've been on the phone with people, and it makes so much sense because I'll get on a call with a client or a prospective customer, and they'll say, well, okay, this is another really good example. I'm going to go on and on about this. Here's another really good example. So they'll get on the phone, right? And they'll say, well, blah, 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 blah. And I'm kind of like, I don't hear a problem. I don't hear a problem. And I'm like, number one, like, you could be taking very, serious advantage of this time right now to really cut through a lot of the bullshit and tell me what's really going on, what's wrong. And that's what I'm here for. And I've had to say that on a regular basis to people, like, what's really, even with premium clients, I'll be like, so what's really going on? And I'm like, well, it sounds like you're actually upset about this. And they'll say, well, and I'm like, okay, so, oh, I had to pop my neck. And they're like kind of like back and forth. And by the end of the call, it's like they're in mental hell in their head, but the mental hell was already there. So it's kind of like they were just pushing it back. And it's kind of like, if you're in a relationship where there's a problem and you just push it to the side and you ignore it, it's still there. It's still like you might be able to have some good times, but it always comes back. It's always something to deal with. And it's kind of like something like every day you're like waiting for that thing to come out and to, fuck things up, basically. So it's like, it's there, but what if you just went straight to it? It may get ugly for a while, but when you deal with that, you can fully commit to, really getting what you want. Another example would be like someone who wants to lose weight. Like, they've got this issue of like, they feel shitty when they get male attention. They feel shitty when they, when women look at them out of jealousy. They feel shitty about X, Y, and Z. They have these mental issues about losing weight, and they put it aside and they go headfirst into working out. They go headfirst into dieting, but still it's there. So when they start getting attention upon attention upon attention upon attention, it snaps them, and they like it hits them to where they go back to the old way that they were. They put the weight back on. So it's kind of like when you want to manifest and you want to fully drive manifestations, you want to be aware of those types of things, because this is a little bit advanced. But your subconscious will know that you'll create that kind of reality, so it will make you stop from manifesting things. So it's kind of like if you're frustrated that you can't lose weight, well, there's a part of you that is avoiding even going there because of the shit that you've had to deal with in the past. So you much more rather be in grateful but frustration. Or if you are single and you've been perpetually single for a long time, you'd rather not look at this thing. You'd rather be grateful but frustrated, because if you looked at that thing, it would be really ugly. Same thing with bad relationships, lack of sex, lack of money. Someone who's able to make $20,000 to $30,000 months, but doesn't want to look at the fact that they have, they want a multi-million-dollar business, but they don't want to look at the fact that they, could be there. So it's kind of like, be aware that there's a massive payoff to being in grateful but frustration, because a lot of times we don't want to look at those things. A lot of times it's ugly to look at, it's not fun, but the reality is if you want something that bad and you're in grateful but frustration, that's what's keeping you stuck. And so I just want to empower you to really look at that. I'm going to talk more about this because this is like really, 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 really important. So if you want to participate in like diving deeper on this, post what you're grateful for in the group and tag me and I'll look at it. And I will be busy as shit for the next couple of days, but I will look at it. And the other thing, grateful. And then, why are you frustrated? This is important. If you do this, this will really, really help you. And another thing, note why you're afraid to look at the ugly stuff. Why you're afraid to fully admit that you're not where you want to be. Is it because you're afraid that the universe is just going to drive more and more negative shit to you? Or is it that you're afraid of fully committing to changing? Look at those things. Look at all those things. Play with all that shit. Journal, do whatever it is that you need to do. Just for the love of God, if you're grateful but frustrated, please, 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 if you really want to get out of stuck mode, listen to this at least 3 times and really do these exercises. I promise it will help you. But that's it for now. Massive love. I gotta go. Kisses. I gotta do mindset work. Okay, bye.